Girlfriend deciding to sleep on the sofa, then waking me up to get into bed regularly. Me and my GF have been together for over 2 years. If I go out with friends for a night out, she'll ask me not to put the bedroom light on when I get back, which is fair enough. I always use the torch on my phone to make sure I don't walk into anything. Over the last couple of months, there's been a couple of nights where my GF has randomly gone into a bad mood for no reason on a night. The nights will be going fine and then she'll just start ignoring me and say she's sleeping on the sofa. Whenever I stop bothering to ask why and just go to bed myself, she'll come into the bedroom a few hours later when I'm asleep and out the light on. I've asked what's wrong with her and she refuses to say. She'll either not answer or just say nothing. I asked her not to put the light on and she didn't respond. Then last night was the same thing. We were having a good night just watching TV and then out of nowhere she just refuses to answer me. When I talk to her and lays down on the sofa, I mention going to bed and she just says she isn't. I get ready for bed and just leave her and she came to bed 4 hours later and out the light on, waking me up. I asked her what was wrong that was meaning she's doing this and why she's saying she's sleeping on the couch, then coming to bed waking me up. I told her if she does it again to not put the light on and she just said she has to see where she's going and that it's her bedroom as well. Does anyone have any advice on how to handle this situation? TL Doctor, my GF has started ignoring me on certain nights and says she's sleeping on the sofa and then proceeds to come to bed hours later and turn the light on, waking me up. Does anyone have any advice? You need to have a serious talk with her about her behavior here. If she can't communicate with you like an adult, she's not ready for a serious relationship. The hell with that bullshit behavior. She's playing a ridiculous mind game of guess why I'm mad, then purposely waking you up cause she knows it will piss you off. Not sure why you've tolerated it for so long. Look her straight in the eye and tell her if this is how she wishes to engage in a relationship, then she can do it with someone else. Stop placating to her immaturity. This is extremely immature behavior and it is unacceptable. I would have a conversation with her today and let her know that if she ever behaves like this again, then you will break up with her. She needs to learn how to express her anger without carrying on like this. Moving forward, the silent treatment and this passive-aggressive behavior should not be accepted. Something's not right here. Have you asked her why she feels it's okay to ask you to keep the light switched off when you come in late, but doesn't do the same thing when she comes in late? The nights will be going fine and then she'll just start ignoring me and say she's sleeping on the sofa. Have you asked her not in the moment, but at a different time, why she starts ignoring you? This is not conducive to good relationship dynamics at all. It's extremely tiring when you have to try and pry out the reason why someone is mad at you. My ex-wife used to do this all the time. It would quite literally take an hour to get her to answer. Sometimes. After a while I quit trying. Tried to talk to her about it to no avail. You need to sit down with her and explain this is unacceptable in the future if she wants to have a future relationship with you. Wow, she's really being a jerk all of a sudden after 2 years she starts this? She never did anything mean like this before? I would talk to her sometime during the day and tell her how you feel when she suddenly starts giving you the silent treatment and sleeps on the couch. And I would say that you agreed to use your phone flashlight if you come to bed late. And you'd like her to do the same. Her behavior is completely unacceptable. She's acting like she's mad at you about something but won't tell you what it is. Sounds very immature. I had an ex that would get upset and ignore me for seemingly no reason. Would never answer what I did. It only got progressively worse. Despite my efforts to communicate. It was the reason I left him. Good luck, op. When you ask her why she does this, what does she say? It honestly seems like something is bothering her, but she doesn't feel comfortable telling you. She is behaving like a child and throwing a tantrum. 20-year-olds should not throw tantrums. You both are literally adults. Tell her she needs to start communicating because this is toxic as hell and you are being wrecked. For it, interrupting regular sleep schedules can have lasting, long-term consequences on a person's health. FYI, when you have this chat, do not avoid the conflict. Even if you are yelling at each other, you are communicating and thus getting information to solve the issue. The next preferable step is to communicate reasonably and then both mutually address concerns. Hopefully maturely, as such. The order is: no communication, bad communication, calm communication, bad negotiation, calm negotiations, mutual agreement and compromises. Just making sure she's definitely awake and cognizant of what's going on. She remembers it the next day? Just ruling out the least painful explanation, that she is sleepwalking or doesn't realize what she is doing. So after 2 years she has decided to stop communicating with you. Has she always been this way? If not, what's changed? Is it possible she's mad about something she's talked with you before many times, and she's just done? Not saying that justifies her behavior, but at least I could understand it if that's the case. Just something to think about. She's being inconsiderate. Know your worth, bro. Just flip the bedroom circuit breaker off when you go to bed next time. That would piss me off to be woken up. It's not that hard to use a dim phone screen to get around. This is just speculation and also not justification. But she might want you to make a move on her and wants it unprompted, which could be causing growing resentment and frustration. Try asking her how she feels about your sex life. A lot of "she's a jerk" types of comments here, but I'm drawn to the "she's in a bad mood for no reason" part. It might be that she's not great at communicating her feelings, so can't adequately explain what the cause is. But I'm always highly doubtful of the idea that people end up in bad moods for no reason. I'd ask her about this in a specific situation, and be open to the answer. If that answer is unfair, unreasonable, then that's where I think other commenters have some value to add. This is abuse. Disrupting your sleep is a form of physical harm. I would tell her that she can sleep in the bed or sleep on the sofa. But if she deliberately wakes you up again, then you are breaking up with her, because you will not remain in a relationship with someone who cares so little about your health. Seriously. This is physical abuse. I know someone whose abuser would do small things to deliberately hurt her that he could pass off as innocuous. He knew she was sensitive to cold, so after she was asleep, he'd open the windows to destroy her sleep quality. It's a form of violence. Any chance she has blood sugar issues? Or takes medication that might make her irritable? Not excusing her behavior, but these things have a lot of effect on mood and behavior. Is it possible she's depressed or anxious? Either way, something is going on and she can't communicate it. Sit her down and explain using I statements what he behavior makes you feel. If that doesn't work, suggest couples therapy. If this is a recurring thing and she won't talk about it and doesn't acknowledge that she's behaving poorly, just shrugs it off, the question needs to shift from "what can I do about this" to "is this something I want to deal with for the foreseeable future?" She may be 22 physically, but as far as emotionally and maturity goes, she's far, far younger. She's being incredibly immature. If she refuses to communicate her problems, I'm not sure where you see this relationship progressing. Info: do you fart? Legitimate question. As a couple I know, the one person behaves like this and the other has no clue why it's happening, as the farts just slip out. Do you drink? Specifically a stout?